Hello everybody, this is Bo Short and I'd like to welcome you to Leading with Impact. And I want to talk to you today about choices and I hope this makes sense to you in depth, because some of it's going to sound kind of counterintuitive to what we do, but I just follow me on this for a minute if you would. If you ever heard, Ronnie and I were reading a book the other day, and it made the statement, have you ever heard someone say, I followed my heart? Let me just follow my heart. And they kind of give up everything to what their heart says. And the book talked about, if you really want to make good choices in your life, you have to lead your heart. You have to guide your heart. You have to navigate your heart. It's kind of like in our business. You have dreams and hopes, but you connect them to a plan. You lead those dreams and hopes. You just don't hope and dream and wish upon a star. You hope and dream and then follow a plan. When we talk so much, the reason I say it's not counterintuitive is we talk so much in our business about, with the Pivot Group, about building the dream with people, that people do things emotionally. But remember, after the emotion is over, they have to have enough reasoning to want to stay in. So you have to help people not follow their heart, but lead their dreams. And that's where choices come in. There's a quote, you are free to choose, but you are not free from the consequences of your choice. So even for you and I, we have the choice today of what we're going to do or not do. We have the choice of if we're going to go forward or not forward. And if we're not going forward, we are going backwards. You know, there's that saying, you're either green and growing or ripe and rotting. And when I did a lot of counseling with CEOs of companies, I would sit with them and they would say, you know, we're not growing this year, but we're just kind of holding our own. And I used to think to myself, baby, you ain't holding your own. You're going backwards. It's subtle. You may not see it, but if you're not growing, you're not going forward. You're going backward. And so I guess one of the things I want to talk to you about when we talk in terms of choices, when you sit down with people to show the plan, now follow me on this. You connect with their head, but you speak to their heart. Because it is the emotion that will surge, that will get that uplift. But then you've got to lead them with things that make sense to them. Because after the emotions are over, we talk about commitment. I tell people all the time, I don't care if you're excited, I care if you're committed. Because I know once the emotion of the commitment of the excitement is over, commitment carries you the rest of the way. And so when I sit down and show the plan, I tell people, I say, look, I'm not going to give you a lot of fluff. I don't want to, this isn't a lot of rah-rah stuff. I want to speak to you logically. I want you to make a logical decision. And then I start talking about their dreams. Now think about that for a minute. That's the part that's kind of counterintuitive. I tell people I want to make them a logical decision, and I do. And then I talk to them about their dreams. That goes to where I'm telling people I want to give you enough facts to show you how to make your dreams come true. I want to discuss with them the logic in the choices that they make and have made in the past. That's why we talk about what's the definition of insanity. And the same thing year after year and expecting different results. That's why we talk to people about you are where you are because of the choices you have made. It's a logical discussion. It's a very logical discussion with people, but we build their dream. You know, do you want to retire early? What does that look like? Do you want to travel with your kids? Where would you go? What does that feel like? You know, we talk a lot of those kind of terms with people. It is the right kind of presentation. Now follow me, is dream driven, not fact full. It's dream driven and not fact full, but it's enough logic and fact, enough fact where people that can release their hopes and dreams. Now, they may think they're following their dreams. That's okay. I feel like I'm following my dreams in many ways. There's nothing wrong with that feeling. The reality is I know when I sit back, I am leading my dreams because I took those dreams and I put them in a plan of action. And I engaged with that plan of action to go forward in my life. And because the choices people make get them to where they are. And that's why it's okay to tell people, look, there's nothing wrong with understanding that 97% of the population ends up broke, dead broke. They end up with living on 40% of an income. They struggle to live on in their life. It's only a handful of 3% of the population that ends up successful and wealthy. What separates those 3%? It's not the families they were born into. Some of them were born into great families, but some broke people were born into wealthy families. It's not that. It's the choices they made along the journey to get there. They all had dreams. They all had hopes. They all had aspirations. But what separates 97% from the 3%? Choices, choices, choices. And people logically will go, that makes sense. Okay, so when you look at your 5 best friends and you see where you are financially compared to where they are, chances are you probably fit somewhere in the middle. Choices in your friends, choices in your lifestyle, choices in your income. It's all about choices. There's nothing wrong with it. What we're taught as kids, grow up, get a good education, get a good job, work hard, you'll be successful. Those days are so long gone, it's not funny. I've been saying those days are so long gone, it's not funny for decades now. But guess what? Not everybody gets it. That's okay. When you sit down and you discuss this with people, you come to them, you tell them you want them to make a logical decision. Look, I'm going to share a business with you, and I'd like you to kind of I wanted to help you make a logical decision so it makes sense. What I do, I connect with their head, and then I speak to their heart. So in order to make that logical decision, you have to know why you're doing something. Doesn't that make sense, Fred? If you're going to do something, to follow it and see it through, you have to know why you're doing it. The motivation is the why. The how-to is the logic. So I will teach you how to, but let's determine first why. Dream-driven, not fact-full. And as soon as I do that, they start telling me what they want. They start that's why I say, if this worked for you, are you looking for some supplemental source of income, some primary source of income, or something more dramatic? Oh, really? What would you do? And then we start dreaming. Because I've got to figure out the why with them, the emotional aspect of this with them, and then connect it to logic and how to get there. And once you do that, people will follow you. Because the truth be told, they're following you because they have dreams and you're showing a pathway, a logical step forward to get what they want. Just keep that simple. Don't complicate that. And I guess the point in all that is this. It's about finding why people want to do something. That's 90% of a presentation. That's 90% of the presentation. Believing in them that they can do it. Letting them know they can do it. And then giving them a logical pathway to do it. So I connect with their head, but I speak to their heart. And I help them lead their heart into the right choices. Do that, and you're leading with impact. Have a great day, everybody.